America, we're facing a critical moment. Over 45,000 dock workers from Maine to Texas have walked off the job demanding fair wages in the face of skyrocketing inflation. But the timing could not be worse, with Israel under attack and devastating floods in the southeast. Union boss Harold Daggett, despite his wealth and controversial past, claims he will cripple our economy. Meanwhile, Biden and Harris are nowhere to be found. The question is, where is the leadership America needs right now? Now, check this out. Are you listening? With dock workers on strike, supply chains in chaos, our roads are becoming more unpredictable and dangerous. Truck drivers are working overtime to move what little cargo will be coming through, increasing risk for everyone. Recent reports show that drivers with dash cams are 60% less likely to be found at fault in traffic accidents. This easy-to-install dash cam records every detail, offering collision documentation, 24/7 security, and memorable drive capture. With 4K Ultra HD night vision, 24/7 motion detection, and loop recording, it's crucial for these uncertain times. Visit carvisionx.com for free express shipping and special bonuses. Don't let the port crisis catch you off guard on the road. Okay. Elon Musk brought up something really interesting about this whole longshoremen strike. He simply reacted, wow. And he was reacting to a post from Max Meyer. I didn't know this, but this is crazy. Harold Daggett, the ILA boss who pledged to cripple the United States, he owns a 76-foot yacht, a Bentley, and gets paid over $900,000 a year. Apparently, he was acquitted on RICO charges after the main witness against him, mobster Lawrence Reese, was found decomposing in a car trunk in New Jersey. That's who we're dealing with at the top here. And what's interesting, here's President Trump with that man. Now, I do believe that President Trump could be the only person who could bring these sides to the table, because he knows how to deal with construction people and blue-collar people and unions. That's what he's done his whole life in construction. So if there's anyone that could bring these sides together to come to a resolution, it's this man. And he would be dealing with somebody who was acquitted on RICO charges. Roger Stone says, if Donald Trump were president today, he would call the union president and management to the table. He would mediate until a contract that was good for everyone was hammered out. That is leadership. And the timing of the strike is dasting. ILA president enjoys a long relationship with Donald Trump, going back decades in New York City. Both Trump and Daggett were the same age and were both from Queens, New York. In late November of 2023, former President Trump invited the ILA president to meet with him in Florida and Mar-a-Lago. We had a wonderful, productive 90-minute meeting where I expressed to President Trump that the threat of automation to American workers, said ILA President Harold Daggett, President Trump promised to support the ILA in its opposition to automated terminals in the U.S. Trump also listened to my concerns about the federal right to work laws, which undermines unions and their ability to represent and fight for its membership. And that's what this comes down to, the automation at the ports that put these guys out of business. Donald Trump posting on his Truth Social, dock workers who have officially gone on strike say the biggest reason they have taken to the picket line is because their wages have not kept up with Kamala's inflation.
Members here on the ground. I've also been talking to the members here on the ground, the individuals here that are now taking to the picket line. They tell me one of their top concerns, inflation, that we have all been living under for the past 4 years. They say that their wages are not adequately keeping up with the cost of living increase and that they need these wage increases reflected in their next contract so they can just keep up and get.
So they can just keep up with the destruction of Biden's America. When the striking longshoreman explains on Mornings with Maria that the 50% pay increase over the next 8 years is not acceptable.
No problem. Thank you.
Sarah, who I'm pleased to say is joining us right now to get us a better understanding of what some of the issues are that the workers are advocating for yourselves. Joe, thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So, Joe, one of the issues in this labor negotiation are the wages. And just yesterday, your union rejected an offer of an increase of 50% over 8 years by the employers. Joe, that sounds like a tremendous increase. And I think a lot of people hear about those wage hikes and they think that's a lot, that's awfully generous. But you say you guys deserve it. Tell us more.
Well, I started 27 years ago, and my wage has increased only $25 over the 27 years. So to me, I believe that we've taken less than we've got deserved in the past. So now it's time.
And you guys say that you're looking at what the shipping companies are making around the world using ports like right here in New York and New Jersey, the largest port here on the East Coast, and you guys feel like you deserve a slice of this?
We are just looking to be paid fairly and for the goods we take care of every day. And we did not stop during COVID, and we don't want to stop right now.
Yeah.
We are.
You know, the timing of this is really bad. I mean, I think that this alone, not just the World War III situation, but this could definitely tank Biden and Kamala Harris and tank Kamala's entire campaign. Imagine if Trump showed up, brought these guys to the table, and solved the problem, because he could do that. This isn't some foreign policy situation. This is domestic labor where Trump excels. Imagine if Trump brought these guys to the table and resolved this in front of the world, in front of Kamala. Okay? Apparently the Teamsters are backing these guys, and they told Biden and Harris, stay the hell away from this situation. Here it is. This is the breaking report. Teamsters tell Biden and Harris to stay the F out of the dock workers' strike. MJ Truth Ultra. Somebody asked me to look into it. I did. It's not good. Site rep. East Coast port strikes. The port strike involves dock workers from International Longshoremen Association, commencing at midnight. It already has commenced, affecting ports across the East and the Gulf Coast. Look at that. If those shipping containers don't show up, don't get offloaded. Remember the supply chain problem we had during COVID? It's going to make that look like kindergarten. Oh, and here's the guy. Okay, here's the guy everyone's talking about. Listen to what he says. I will cripple you, and you will have no idea. You have no idea what that means.
They're making, but today's world, it's changing into the future. They're not making millions no more. They're making billions, and they're spending it fast as they make it. I want a piece of that for my men, because when they made their most money was during COVID. When my men had to go to work on those piers every single day, when everybody stayed home and went to work. Not my men. They died out there with the virus. We all got sick with the virus. We kept them going. From Canada to Maine to Texas, Great Lakes, Puerto Rico, now the Bahamas, everybody went to work during COVID. Nobody stayed home. Well, I want to be compensated for that. I'm not asking for the world. They know what I want. They know what I want. And if they don't, well, then I have to go into the street and we have to fight for what we rightfully deserve. These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
I don't even know how to respond. I mean, it sounds like a threat. Now, these guys, they work hard. They bring in the goods into the United States. But what this guy is saying, I mean, it's terrifying when you think about just they are the main point of the supply chain. Without them, the whole country shuts down. You think everything's going to start coming in on the Pacific side? Holy cow. Here's more. Let's see. We have this is Union power! Union power! Union power! Union power! And where's Joe Biden? Where's Kamala Harris? Dock workers at ports from Maine to Texas go on strike, risking new shortages.
Midnight. More than 45,000 dock workers from Maine to Texas are now on strike for the first time since 1977. They walked off the job once the clock struck midnight. Workers are demanding higher wages and a total ban on automation in the ports. Experts warn the strike could disrupt supply chains and raise prices for consumers. The timing could also cause tremendous disruptions to this year's holiday shopping season, which usually gets into full swing next month. Officials also say the walkout has the potential to become the most disruptive strike to the U.S. economy in decades. Just a week-long strike could cost the U.S. economy $3.8 billion. More than 45,000
billions of dollars. Products not coming in. 45,000 dock workers, U.S. port workers officially gone on strike from Maine to Texas for the first time since 1977. I go back to the point that Donald Trump could resolve this, and this could really destroy Kamala Harris's campaign. Now, I'm gonna get a little conspiratorial here for just a second, if you don't mind, YouTube. This meeting took place back here. This meeting with Trump took place back in November of 23, when he met with Trump. I mean, he was already expressing his concerns. He was already echoing the reality that a strike is coming. And these guys know each other. Now, I'm not saying Donald Trump like instigated this or told him to do it. But what I'm saying is the fact these guys are both from New York City, have a long relationship, the same age, they're both from Queens. Like these are good old boys right here. I mean, if Trump was like, you know what? Yeah, just do it a month before the election. And I'll come in and I'll fix it and I'll be the hero. I'm not saying he did that, but that's like where my mind goes sometimes. A couple of New York boys plotting against Kamala and Biden. Hey man, they've been plotting against Trump. I mean, since he went down that escalator. Impeachments, indictments, trying to bankrupt him, put him in prison. Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. Maybe this is a little bit of that fire, huh? I don't know. It's just, I'd be like, yeah, good for you, Trump. But I mean, the amount of pain that everyone else is going to feel. I'm okay. Look, I know I'm going a little bit overboard here, but I still think that anything's possible these days, man. I don't know. Maybe what do you guys think in the comments? Sam Hildebrand says, what if this is the October surprise? What if the Longshoremen are working with Kamala? She comes in, negotiates a deal, and becomes our savior. Thoughts? Well, I just proposed the complete opposite of that. What if the Longshoremen are working with Trump? And he comes in, negotiates a deal, and becomes our savior. I mean, it can go either way. So we're going to continue to monitor this. This is pretty bad. We got another clip here. This is Charlie Kirk. Oh wow. Okay, let's listen to this before we jet out.
Trying to get us to
Over the weekend, the past
Secretary of Labor Julie Sue has been terrific. She's knocking down doors. She's trying to stop this. She's trying to get us to a media where we can have a fair negotiations. It's the companies that don't want to. They don't want to sit here and be fair. So that's why we're out here fighting for our livelihood.
What more from the automation do you want? What more protections could there be?
What more?
Yeah, they have language in there now.
Not strong enough, because what happens is they come in with new technology. We just caught them in Mobile, Alabama, called Autogate, and that means the trucks are coming in and they're already checked in somewhere else and not using the checkers in the ILA. Circumventing the contract. They don't care. They don't care. It's not fair. And if we don't put our foot down now, they would like to run over us, and we're not going to allow that.
You are going to grind the economy to a halt here on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast.
No, not us. They are. Don't spin it now, because you're Fox News. They're going to drive it.
But are you worried?
They're going to drive it.
Are you worried that this
They have the
strike?
capital to settle this thing.
Are you worried that this strike is going to hurt the everyday American, the farmers that need to reach the export market? They're
Listen,
telling me that they're going to hurt through
Now
all
you
of
start
this.
to realize who the longshoremen are, right?
Nobody cares.
People never gave a about us until now, when they finally realized that the chain is being broke now. Cars won't come in, food won't come in, clothing won't come in. You know how many people depend on our jobs? Half the world. And it's time for them and time for Washington to put so much pressure on them to take care of us, because we took care of them and we're here 135 years and brought them where they are today, and they don't want to share. And I'm done.
Fox Business' Lydia Hu joins us now from the port of Newark in New Jersey. And I've been following you. We have been, as you've done this story for us. And now the rubber has met the road. And he feels like he's dug in and feels like he's in a strong position. Is he in as strong a position as he thinks or appears to seem to be?
You know, he certainly feels like he's in a strong position, and he's probably looking around at other unions and the wage gains and the record contracts that they have notched in recent years. I mean, just last year, the West Coast port workers got a new contract with a 32% wage hike over 4 years. So now Mr. Daggett, the president, is looking at that and saying, we want that and better. Just yesterday, Dana, Mr. Daggett rejected port management's offer of a 50% wage hike over 8 years. Just to give you an idea of where they stand right now, it does seem like the two sides are still far apart, but he does at least see over the weekend, the past couple.
What did the quartering have to say about that? He put out a tweet. If you guys don't know who he is, you should follow his show. He said, the dock workers' average salary is in the six figures. East Coast longshoremen with 6 or more years of experience earn $39 an hour. That's according to New York Times. They declined a 50% raise and holding you hostage to negotiate. I will cripple you and you will have no idea what that means. And he just calls it sick. So, I mean, I don't know where you guys stand on this. And the port strike highlights the complex challenges that's facing our nation. While workers struggle with inflation, union leadership faces scrutiny with Israel under attack and natural disasters at home, the stakes couldn't be higher. Well, President Trump has a history of bringing parties to the table and finding solutions. Could this crisis be the final straw for the Harris campaign? What do you think? How should America's leadership address this perfect storm of crises? Share your thoughts below.